Hi, I'm Dawn Jones with the City of Stillwater. Thank you for tuning in to our podcast. Today is a little bit different. We're doing a vodcast, as our producer Michelle shared with me. She taught us a new term. So it is a vodcast where we are doing our podcast, but with video. So as always, my co-host for our podcast is Deputy City Manager Melissa Reams. And today our guest is Brady Moore, who is our Chief Innovation Officer. Welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're glad to be here. We have some exciting things to share with our listeners and our viewers today, since it's a vodcast.
Yeah, thanks, Michelle. Yeah. Now we have viewers.
Yes,
there we go.
have viewers.
Ooh.
Yay.
We're evolving.
But Brady and I have been working together, collaborating on economic development for probably a year now. And Brady's ramping up more and more as he kind of was easing out of some of his other projects that we had assigned to him. So I was so excited when Dawn said, let's do a podcast about some of our economic development. And I think and our quality of life development. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I want to start off with, Brady, is Rails to Trails. And that's been one of your projects for quite some time now. I think probably since you got here.
Yes, and yeah, in fact, it's kind of weird. This was, where we're recording, this was my office when we first started here. Becky and I were in this office together, and I remember that first Thanksgiving, Norm was sitting in here, and Becky and I think we're the only ones in the office because everyone was gone. It's like that late in the day, right before Thanksgiving, right? And we didn't have the vacation time built up yet. So Norm said, hey, there's an issue that we've always tried to have solved here in Stillwater, and that's connecting our Kamioka Trail. And I said, Norm, I have this crazy idea. I think we have a perfect way, this unused, beautiful corridor that perfectly connects our Kamioka Trail and runs right through town. He's like, what are you talking about? And I said, well, it's our rail corridor. Mm-hmm. And I said, I think there's these rail to trail conversions going on, and this is something we should look at. And he just said, I remember his words, and he'll tell you this story too. He says, I think you're crazy. There's no way the town or the state would go for that. And I said, well, if you're okay with it, let's meet and let's just go down that path. And a few weeks later, we were discussing it as a city management office, and then started having conversations with ODOT. And Norm and I went down and met with them and had some really good conversations with the rail corridor. And through about a year's conversation and work, we've now applied for a grant to convert the first section from Lakeview to McElroy and convert that unused railroad into a trail.
And I love that you are literally taking the unused railroad and repurposing for something that will be very beneficial for many of us throughout the community that enjoy being outdoors and active and multimodal. So I love
great.
that.
Yeah, and the great thing about it is what we've proposed to ODOT is right there at Lakeview, we would do our conversion there. So it would still allow rail use for all of our industries to the north. Mm-hmm. The one industry in town that could possibly get effective if the rail was even active was the mill. And we met with the owner of the mill early on, and she was really excited for it to be a trail. They didn't see that they had rail in their future. And so it seemed like a win-win for everybody. And so we put in November and December, put in our grant application for an ADA accessible trail to be funded for that first section, and we'll just do it a mile at a time, hopefully, and eventually have it fully connected from Couch Park to Boomer Lake on a running and biking trail. Yeah,
it would be, and that's been a goal of this community. Gosh, I don't even know how old the Kamioka Trail is. Michelle, do you remember?
I'm honestly not sure. I'm going to say maybe 90s?
Maybe. It's been in existence for a long time. Yeah. And to have that connectivity has always been a goal. It's one of those quality of life issues. Yep. We've heard our citizens say, this is what we want. And Brady, as our Chief Innovation Officer, was innovative and found a way to get it done.
No, we have a great team here that was really supportive of it, and that's what made the difference. And, it is one of those quality of life projects. It is, some people have a hard time like monetizing that and saying, well, why is the city, and again, we're going after grant funds to pay for this, right. But the impact it has on industries coming in, and for USA Rare Earth, one of our new industries coming to town, that their employees would have a trail that would almost basically connect from where their new location is all the way to downtown, a safe way to ride and bike. But for all of our community, it goes by the high school, right. It goes by so many neighborhoods and grocery stores. it truly is one of those quality of life things that draws people to your community.
Exactly.
And another quality of life project that it's hard to put the amount of like money or that benefit measure it for the community is the Block 34.
Absolutely.
I mean, as long as, and I remember when I interviewed with Melissa for this position here at the city, they asked me like, what's your one beef with the city? They're trying to like, I think, prod me for that. And I said, honestly, I don't have a beef with the city. I've been a business owner in this community for 16 years. I said, my one frustration is Block 34. I think it could be such a great gathering space. And it's just, I'm disappointed that we haven't been able to, as a city, come together. And what a blessing to have the Irbies give us this incredible gift from Kicker, and from Simmons Bank, and those that are all contributing to
Bank First.
Yeah, Melissa has coined Steve Irby as the son of Stillwater, and I love it.
And what a wonderful family.
Yes.
Joel and great kids. We got to know them through our business many years ago, but what a blessing to have them give this gift that is now going to give us a great gathering space. I love someone said a living room. They described it as almost like our community living room that we can have together. And construction is going to start, I think, hopefully in the third quarter of this year. We're still finishing up the design and the architecture for the block, and hoping to have the engineering done and wrapped up so that we can put it out to bid mid-year.
Right, but the really good thing, and I think that we need to spend just a couple minutes talking about it, is what we're doing in preparation for the Block 34 construction. So the actual site, the actual block, to get into that, to break ground, but we'll be at that time. But what we're doing ahead of time, to actually with the infrastructure and the roadways, and that is so imperative.
Absolutely. And so we've been having progress meetings with the architects, and of course I'm the accountant. This is Brady's the engineer, but I'm the accountant, and to sit up in that room and think, where are the trash cans going? And I work pretty close with Matt Faulkner, our director of waste management, and I'm like, where are the trash cans going? We better get Matt pulled in and figure out, do we have a dumpster corral? And if we have a dumpster corral, where do we put that? And where can the waste management truck go so it can pick things up? Some of it's going to be people picking trash up. That's the nature of the block.
Yeah.
It's the nature of the design. So if we acknowledge that up front, we can plan for that into the future. Back to the infrastructure, we all know that Duncan floods when it rains. It just is a river running down there. So Candy Starring, our director of engineering, she and her team are working on stormwater control. We're going to get the roads redone, sidewalks. Brady, help me. I'm trying to electrical. Yep. We're redoing the electrical over there. It is just, it's going to be the wonderful, I think the living room is a really good way to coin this, but a wonderful hub to our community where you can come and gather, you can shop, you can eat, you can play.
But thanks to everyone we're doing it right.
We are doing it right.
We are not, we're not diving into Block 34 and building this great living room space, amphitheater, and all of this without first doing that imperative work to make sure that the roadways and, no flooding and safe roadways and all of those things with the parking and the sidewalks and all of that has to be done.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the block being built and being this magnificent, multi-million-dollar block that was gifted to the city, and then we are tearing up the roads and the stuff around it, which are already in really bad disrepair and need to be
absolutely
the drainage issues, the road issues, and when we redo a road, we always go in and do the right thing and redo our sewer and water lines. So
we're
there's
undoing things that were not done correctly, 40, 50
plus years ago. Have aged.
Or have endured the weather, or all of the things. It is really just a combination of so many things, and we're doing it right.
Yes,
that's right.
Absolutely.
And I think our community's gonna be proud of that. Like the city didn't put that off or think that through, didn't have the vision for what it's going to look like when the block's done. I think the city's going to be proud that, hey, we have this amazing new block, and the city did their part around it, and it's something we can all be proud of.
And this space will be an educational, cultural, entertainment, gathering, just all of the great
We're
things.
going to have a water feature.
Can't wait.
Think if Candy can get the water issue worked out with DEQ and everything, because it's more like I don't even think about these things, but the water has to be treated unless it's, I don't even remember the whole issue, but it's more like a swimming pool. So we have to figure out, do we treat it? Do we not, but Candy's working all of that out. And I'm just so thankful that
she's really hit the ground running.
She has. And we've got, I just can't even tell our viewers the quality of staff we have here at the city. They are amazing people. They get so much done and literally on a shoestring a lot of times. But they get it done. They
they definitely represent service above self, which
absolutely.
I'm so proud to be part of the team.
I would say the thing that surprises me about it is that you've got, it's such an all hands on deck effort.
Yes,
I mean, you have
It's a good
so
point.
many different departments that are involved in the planning of it, which is smart because you don't want to wait till the whole thing's built and they go, oh, by the way, how are we going to pick up the trash?
Well, exactly. Kind of
We
key
should have
here.
thought about that.
Yeah.
So going on to, let's talk about convention center, because I think convention center
agree.
is that,
Connect.
we created a TIF and we call it the Downtown Campus Link TIF. Well, this convention center in Block 34, guess what? They're bringing that to life, that whole concept of connecting campus to downtown.
Right.
And I'm so excited about this convention center, something that Stillwater has lacked and we have needed for probably forever, really.
Well, and Stillwater overwhelmingly supported the visitor sales tax
Yes.
and increase, which wonderful. And this also helps with that and marketing and staffing and doing great things. But tell us about this convention center. Do we have any type of update, timeline, more information?
Yeah, so the convention center is really rolling along. We received their construction documents last week, so that's already our engineering team and planning team is on top of reviewing those documents, and I know they're wanting to break ground. I think they've said like end of February, beginning of March, but I know that's really quickly coming upon us. So it's exciting to just see that project is moving with the momentum that it is. A local developer is doing it. It's an exciting time for Stillwater. It's one of many projects. You talk about this workload that engineering and planning and all these other departments are working on. It's because exciting things are happening in Stillwater, and so many communities would be, begging for a new neighborhood to come in. We have multiple new neighborhoods ready to be coming out of the ground soon, and so we have new businesses opening in Stillwater and this convention center and hotel wanting to come. So there's a lot on our plate right now, but that's a good thing to have.
Well, and what are some of these TIF businesses that you mentioned, TIF, Melissa, some of these great businesses coming in?
So some of the ones that you can see immediately that we've invested tax dollars in is they're called small business enhancements. Go look at Merrifield Office Supply. It is bright and clean and purple. And I just love it. It just pops. And then across the street from Merrifield, another business that we invested in is Social 174 Stilly. And it just, what we helped Callie do with that just transformed, don't you think, Brady, that building?
It's very attractive, yep.
And she is a go-getter.
She's a go-getter.
She's got the entrepreneurship just really done well.
Brady's got another small business enhancement that's coming to the committee on the 30th.
On the 30th, yep. American Legion's looking to do a new sign to draw some attention to their building and let people know of the great things going on with the American Legion group. Right. So that's coming to the TIF committee on the 30th. We have some other people that we've met with, but no applications yet for some other prospective businesses coming to downtown.
Can I tell you, I'm already hungry for a new breakfast venue in addition to our already great ones. Can you tell us about that?
So Corey Williams with Progressive Development has been doing many of the projects. Stone Cloud was a TIF project that Melissa worked hard on last year, bringing into town, and it's been very successful and has
it has exceeded expectations.
I have enjoyed it. I've been there a few times, and it is a great space. I love the space.
It's very
the outdoor space. I don't know if you haven't visited Stone Cloud, I encourage you to do so. So the inside area, which we brought over Good Little Eater, food from Good Little Eater. They do. They co-promote. They lean into each other, and brought food over, and we enjoyed food there. And the outdoor area is so nice. They've got cornhole and pet friendly and
family friendly.
Family friendly. We've just had a great time there.
Yeah. So Hatch is coming into what we used to call Uncle Mike's, and I think when I was in school here, it was the Napa Auto Parts store.
Okay.
Yep. And so anyway, Hatch and Roundhouse Bakery is relocating to Perkins, and that's exciting for our community to have these options. I used to be a downtown business owner, and I loved seeing new businesses coming. I didn't see them as competition. It was more of like rising the tide, right? It lifts all ships. And I think it's the same thing, Sarah at Good Little Eater, like Stone Cloud's been a blessing to her, and she's excited even for Roundhouse, which would kind of be seen as a competitor, but it makes people think, we have all these restaurants downtown, let's go eat in this district, or whatever the district is in Stillwater that you want to go shop or dine. So I think it's going to be a good thing. And Hatch is, for those that know, it's a very popular Oklahoma-based restaurant. Started in Automobile Alley. It's one of my wife and I's favorite places.
Mine too. I
to
love
have
it.
That kind of breakfast food. And so we already have some great places in town. This hopefully will just rise that tide. Yeah.
Everybody, give us all unique choices. One of the things, so that's all kind of the development that's going on in town. One of the things that we do have, a tool we have in our toolbox real quickly to help attract business to town is our Home Buyers Incentive Program.
Oh, yes.
And so if you are a first-time home buyer, you've never owned a home before, or you're a first-time home buyer in Stillwater, you could qualify for up to $5,000 against your closing costs.
Love that.
Now, there's some hooks, like there always is with taxpayer money. We need you, I think, to live in the home at least 7 years, and so we'll file. I think it qualifies as a lien against the title on the house, and every year you get forgiven a certain amount of that money. And you can't have purchased your home before you apply. So it has to be congruent with you getting your loan, and then you'll apply here at the city. But I just encourage everybody that is looking to buy a home here in Stillwater. And as Brady said, we've got a lot of great new home communities or home neighborhoods. There's one down at 32nd and Western that I drive by every day when I come to work, and it's fixing to come online. So be thinking about that Home Buyers Assistance Program, and you can contact Brady, you can contact me, you can call just the main number at City Hall, and we'll get you to the right place. But that is a huge incentive for an employer bringing new employees to town, that we would help those employees get situated here in Stillwater.
But I love that. I did not realize that it was new to Stillwater.
New to Stillwater.
So it's not just a first-time home buyer.
No. It can be first time in Stillwater.
Yeah.
And some of the people they've attracted with that are the remote workers.
There you go.
During
Yeah.
the pandemic, a lot of companies moved to remote work, and that's attracted people to Stillwater. They say, I'd love to come back to where I enjoy going to all the football games and baseball games that Stillwater offers, and so I want to live remote or work remote and live in Stillwater.
Right.
And that's an incentive
best
they can
of
use.
both worlds,
Yep.
huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, and let's just say, big thanks to some of the other businesses that have just opened. I just want to mention that real quick. We've got some new ones. HTO is opening.
Absolutely.
Or has opened. And then we've got another one opening soon.
Yeah, it looks like Ted's Cantino, the new taco concept.
Yeah.
That
The sign's up. I'm really excited about
It's
that.
looking good in there. I think that's one of the new
Yay.
businesses. Yeah, it's just we should be
very
grateful,
vibrant.
yes, for these new businesses investing in
Yes.
our community.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not all about us attracting them. Stillwater attracts them,
Yes.
and they understand that they can come here and make an investment in our community, and their return is going to be, what they expect, or like with Stone Cloud, it's going to exceed our expectations.
Yep.
Well, and I will just say that I think Mayor Joyce coined it well when he said Stillwater is in an economic renaissance.
Yes.
And we are.
I like
We
that.
are definitely vibrant and booming and all the great things. Well, thank you for tuning in to our Vodcast today. Our producer, Michelle Charles, set this up for us, and our communications multimedia specialist, Eric Moreau, and thank both of them
Thank you, Eric.
for their work. And Thanks to our guest, Brady Moore, for joining us. And as always, my co-host. Absolutely. So thank you guys for tuning in and joining us today. Together, we are investing in municipal excellence.